Well, good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scott Manny coming to you from my home here in Columbus. I want to thank all my loyal viewers for tuning in out there in YouTube land here tonight. I got a lot of notes. Got some notes to go over. I'm going to have some fun, and we're going to enjoy the show. It is official. James Harrison is coming out of retirement. NFL media insider Ian Rappaport reports via a source informed of the situation. The Steelers will be signing Harrison within the next few days. He had been pinning for a return to the Steelers since March. At age 36, can he do well in the National Football League? It is actually a surprise that he's been retired. Like somebody from the NFL Network reported he'd only been retired like maybe 10 minutes, just joking around. And now he's back to playing football. He's back with the Steelers organization. He also said if it weren't for players like Brett Kissel, Ike Taylor, and Troy Polamalu, he would not be coming back. The reason why I think James Harrison is coming back is because two linemen are hurt, and they are Ryan Shazier, a former Ohio State player, and Jarvis Jones. They both have an MCL sprain and they need wrist surgery respectively. Harrison tweeted on Instagram today of himself signing the contract on Tuesday morning, making his return to Pittsburgh official. So James Harrison is coming out of retirement to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will he have a protected rest of the season? We won't know. His first two games are against the winless Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Jacksonville Jaguars in weeks 4 and 5. So keep that in mind. Keep that on your calendar. And we'll have to wait and see what goes on from there. I'm not sure if you guys have already heard about the Redskins-Eagles fight on Sunday. Jason Peters expects to be fined by the NFL for charging across the field and striking the Redskins. Chris Baker had just leveled Eagles quarterback Nick Boyles with a blindside shot that earned Baker an ejection as well. So we'll have to wait and see what else happens. Meanwhile, NFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations, Troy Vincent, told the Washington Post that Baker will not be suspended or fined for his hit. I strongly disagree with that. He blindsided a quarterback. Okay, legal or not, you don't blindside somebody to start trouble. And I'll probably have that as my question of the night, so stay tuned. But I got to tell you, what a game on Sunday between Denver and Seattle. The first game, they said it was going to be a big deal. It lived up to the hype, which it didn't. The rematch, boy, did it live up to the hype on Sunday. I saw that game from start to finish. The Broncos were down 17-3 in the fourth quarter. They came back to tie the ball game, to send it into overtime. But if it weren't for let me see here. If it weren't for Russell Wilson after getting upstaged by Peyton Manning earlier in the fourth quarter, Russell Wilson upstaged him. And it was also the game ended with Marshawn Lynch's 6-yard touchdown pass in overtime in a 26-20 victory. So what a rematch it was on Sunday. That has to go down as a nominee for Game of the Day on Sunday. I may ask that in the question of the night. We'll have to wait and see. And I'll see what kind of a question I will throw at you here. And I may have that as my question of the evening. In the world of college football, as you all know, Florida State barely escaped against number 22 Clemson. Florida State won, but despite not having Jameis Winston, who was actually suspended for jumping up on the table of the student union and screaming an obscene phrase. But also too, there's a Clemson player feeling the heat. Coach Dabo Swinney says center Ryan Norton has received threatening messages on social media after his bad snap in a loss to number 1 Florida State last Saturday night. Swinney said Tuesday there is no place for people, and the threats are to college students for making mistakes in a game, and those who do are not real fans. As you all know, Florida State lost that ball game 23-17. Florida State's still number 1. Their next game is against an unranked team. I don't remember who it was. I have no clue. I forgot all about it. I never thought about it before I went on the air. But I can tell you also, too, Ohio State's back in action against Cincinnati. And I hope the Buckeyes are better prepared this time, because I remember the last time they played, Ohio State nearly lost to Cincinnati. So keep that in mind. We'll have to see how good J.G. Barnett is, and we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. Also, I got baseball scores tonight. Baltimore beat the Yankees 5-4. Tampa Bay beat Boston 6-2. The Royals beat the Indians 7-1. Pittsburgh beat Atlanta 3-2. Pittsburgh is has clinched his playoff spot as well. Congratulations to the Pirates. Arizona beat Minnesota 6-2. The Rangers beat the Astros 2-1. The Nationals beat the Mets 4-2. Cincinnati beat Milwaukee 3-1. LA beat Oakland 2-0. Toronto beat Seattle 10-2 today. Miami beat Philadelphia 2-0. Detroit beat the White Sox 4-3. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 4-3 tonight. The Dodgers beat the Giants 4-2. and the Rockies beat the Padres 3-2 tonight as well. So up to the second in the American League Central. Detroit won tonight. The Royals also won tonight. So it is now one game between those two for the American League Central. Nothing is clinched as of yet in the American League except for the AL East and the AL West. So as you all know, the Angels are in. They got the best record. Baltimore is only 2.5 games out for having the best record in the American League. So we'll have to wait and see what happens down the road. We still got a few more days left in the season. The playoffs start here on next week, as a matter of fact. Also, too, National League Central is really, really tight. The Cubs beat the Cardinals in 10 innings tonight, 4-3, while the Pirates won. So now the National League Central is only a game and a half between St. Louis and Pittsburgh. And they got a big series. I think they got a big series coming up, and we only got a few days left in the season. A lot of things can happen between now and then. And in the National League West, the magic number for the Dodgers to win the National League West is 1. That's all they need. Win tomorrow night, they win the National League West, and they can celebrate. So it looks like now, it stands now, the two wild card teams are going to be Pittsburgh and San Francisco in the National League. In the American League, it looks like now Oakland may get the wild card, but we got a dogfight in the American League Central. There's only one game between the two. We'll wait and see what happens. We got a few days left in the season. And here, the following teams have clinched a playoff berth: Washington, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and the Los Angeles Dodgers for the National League. For the American League, it is the Los Angeles Angels and the Baltimore Orioles. So that's where we stand right now in playoff baseball, and I got a lot of news for you. James Harrison coming back. So now, here is my question of the night. What do you think was the game of the day on Sunday? I will post this on my Facebook page. I would love to hear from you, even if you agree with me or even if you disagree with me. I would love to hear from you. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Google+, and I'm on YouTube. So, tonight's show is sponsored in part by you, the fans, who make this possible for me to do what I love to do every week. I'm so glad to hear from you. I hear your comments all the time. I would love to hear from you on this one. So shoot me a line. What do you think was the NFL game of the day on Sunday? I would love to hear from you on that. I will post that on my Facebook page. So I will be back here tomorrow night. But until then, this is Scott Manning saying good night, good luck, and thank you. And I thank you, and good night.